911. You need police, fire, or ambulance?
Yes, I need an ambulance at as fast as they can get here.
Can you tell me exactly what happened?
I'm not sure. Somebody's hurt really bad, though. I need somebody to get here as fast as they can get here, please.
Do you see any weapons there?
Yeah, there's a knife. Look at her hand.
There's a knife in her hand?
Yes.
Take a deep breath for me, okay?
On Christmas Eve in 2013, at 7 p.m, Randall Adelot, who had come only to drop off his young daughter at a Gulf Breeze residence, discovered that his ex-wife was lying in a pool of blood in the living room. When police officers arrived at the scene, they documented that the victim was brutally murdered, noting numerous amounts of bloodied knives scattered around the body. As detectives approached Randall, who was sobbing uncontrollably outside the house, he shockingly confessed that he suspected his own son, Brandon, might be responsible for the murder. Since the suspect was not at the scene, officers followed up on a neighbour's report of a gold Lexus leaving the premises earlier. They later located Brandon Adelot's car at his father's house, where they apprehended him and brought him to the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office for questioning. As detectives photographed the suspect, they noticed that Brandon appeared to have showered recently. This, however, could not hide the visible scratches and bloodstains that were all over his body. Detectives are certain that Brandon played a role in the murder of his mother. Their goal is to get a confession.
This is Detective Cool. She's the one lead investigator in this. I'll let her start off and see where we need to go.
All right, that's right. It's Brandon, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it okay if I call you that?
Yes, ma'am.
Brandon, we're here investigating a criminal investigation that you're involved in.
Yes, ma'am.
We'd like to talk to you a little bit. I'm not sure if you've talked to anyone else since they got you at your dad's house or not, but I'd like to talk to you a little bit if you don't mind.
All right, yes, ma'am.
First of all, how are you doing?
Good.
Good?
Yeah.
Do you know why you're here?
No, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Why are you here?
Because I killed Sharon Hill.
You killed it?
Sharon Hill.
Sharon Hill?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
My mother. Yeah, tell what led up to what happened. She sent me to a drug rehab when I had no drugs in my system. And she kept on getting mad at me every time I would tell her I didn't have any drugs in my system. And she just drove me to the brink where I said I really don't have any drugs in my system. And I just completely lost it one day.
What day was that?
Today.
Several months before the murder, Sharon Adelot caught her son using and selling synthetic substances. He was subsequently admitted to a drug rehab program where drug tests returned clean. According to police reports, friends and teachers had noticed Brandon behaving oddly in the months leading up to the murder. Brandon's behaviour had shifted drastically. He went from being a good kid to someone prone to violence. He had multiple arguments with his mother and even punched a school friend in the face for no apparent reason.
Tell me what happened. Tell me about your afternoon.
I woke up, hung out around the house. I went over there to have dinner and she just looked at me like I was crazy. And I had enough of it, so I decided to kill her.
You live with your dad, right?
Yes, sir.
Where does he live at?
Behind Circle K.
Okay, is that where the police found you tonight?
Yes, sir.
You went over to your mom. Did y'all start arguing about the drugs again, or tell me what happened?
No, sir. I just went in there and I killed her.
What'd you kill her with?
A knife and a baseball bat.
Where'd you get the baseball bat?
Out of my room.
At your mom's house, your dad's house.
My mom's.
Where's the bat now?
It's in my car.
And the car was being selected.
Yes, sir.
How many times did you hear it was a bat?
A lot.
Where'd you get the knives from?
The kitchen drawers.
How many knives?
A lot.
Got any idea how many times you stabbed?
No, sir. Just stabbed her.
While it's unusual to see a murder suspect confess with a smile, the circumstances of this case made Brandon's smirk even more disturbing. Brandon claimed that a weird look from his mother was enough of a reason for him to murder her in a grotesquely brutal way. Detectives concluded that the crime scene was shockingly gruesome, with the autopsy report only highlighting the brutality further.
What made you go over there? And did she call you and invite you over to come have dinner? Or?
I was invited earlier that day by my sister.
But your sister wasn't home there, right?
No, sir. She came over to my dad's house.
Is that your biological sister, stepsister?
That's my biological sister.
How old is she?
10.
On December 24th, at approximately 7 p.m, Elizabeth Adelot, Brandon's sister, left with her father, Randall, to purchase a last-minute Christmas present for Sharon. During this time, Brandon was already at his mother's house, as he was invited to dinner earlier. When Elizabeth and her father returned with the gift, Sharon was already murdered. While Brandon provided a detailed account of the timeline and methods used to kill his mother, detectives slowly realised they weren't dealing with the usual suspect, as there seemed to be a deeper and more disturbing layer affecting Brandon's mental state.
You go to your mom's house, I mean, is this something that you sit down and hang out a while, or as soon as you get there?
It just happened immediately when I got there.
What happened right when you pulled in?
I got out of my car, walked up to the door, and knocked on it. She shut the door, and I stabbed her.
Did you go inside the house?
Yes, ma'am.
And then she shut the door?
Yes, ma'am.
You take the bat out of the car when you got there?
The bat was already in the room.
Okay, then the room at your mom's house, not your dad's.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Did you say anything to her? I mean, did y'all talk at all before this happened?
No, ma'am.
Is that the only, I mean, what kind of issues have you and Mom had other than that?
That was the only one.
Okay. After you stabbed her and left the house, where'd you go?
Winn-Dixie.
With the different people?
And I hung out there for a little bit.
You talked to anybody there?
No, sir. And then I went back to the house. And the cops showed up, and then I went outside.
After Brandon killed his mother, he had no intention in hiding the evidence. Out of all the knives left scattered in the living room and on the victim's body, Brandon took only one knife and a bloodied baseball bat with him to his father's house, where he placed the knife in a kitchen drawer. Detectives theorised that Brandon may have put it there because he thought it belonged to his father. However, Randall couldn't confirm whether it was actually his knife or not. Before officers arrived to arrest him, Brandon placed his bloodied clothes in the laundry basket, took a shower, and changed clothes. Particularly the lack of intent to conceal evidence struck detectives as odd and unusual. Brandon was later diagnosed with schizophrenia and specified that voices told him to kill his mother. This diagnosis would play a key role in the court proceedings.
Did you change clothes when you got home?
Yes, sir.
Where are the clothes at that you wear when you stabbed your mom?
I threw them in the dirty clothes basket.
At your dad's house?
At my dad's house, yes.
Did you take any of the knives with you when you left your mom?
Yes, sir. I took only one.
Where is it now?
It's at my dad's house.
Where at your dad?
It's behind all the other knives and spoons and everything and all in the tray.
The kitchen drawer?
Yes, sir.
How do you feel about what happened?
Like I did the right thing.
Was it?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, why do you think you did the right thing?
Because she was saying that I was smoking weed when I wasn't.
The fact that Brandon brutally killed his mother because she simply cared for him is shocking in itself. However, police reports reveal a much more disturbing layer to his exact reasoning for the murder. A social worker who visited Brandon in jail was disturbed by what he shared with her. Fearing that other lives might be in danger, she contacted the sheriff's office on December 30th to report what Brandon told her. Brandon claimed that he was a god chosen to fulfill a prophecy by murdering his mother. According to him, this act would immortalize his mother, allowing her to spend eternity with her ex-husband, Randall. He further claimed that a ruler of Navarre, who he referred to as Braxton Strange, had given him this task. Brandon also mentioned several school friends who were allegedly part of this prophecy. When detectives reached out to their families, they found no evidence of anyone's involvement in any cult or prophecy. A person named Braxton Strange could not be identified.
Have you talked to anybody else about this? You called friends? Anybody?
Me and my dad was involved.
How was that?
It didn't go well. My aunt was involved. My aunt's friend was involved. My sister was even involved.
Involved in what?
Like whenever I had to take a drug test and I passed it and then I went to the real one. No, I mean I failed the first one. Then I went to the real one and I passed it and they still checked me into a drug rehab facility.
Okay. And you're saying your aunt, your sister, and your dad were involved in checking you into that facility?
That was all my mom's idea.
When you got back to your dad's house, did you take a shower?
Yes, sir, I did.
What do you think should happen now?
I think that Elena Rivera should be kicked off the throne.
Who's that?
This girl that's in charge of weed smoking. She's Native American.
She's in charge of all the weed smoking?
Yeah.
Like in the whole world, or?
Yeah. She don't even smoke weed.
Throughout the entire interrogation, Brandon insisted that he killed his mother because she took him to a drug rehab facility after he tested positive for multiple drugs in an over-the-counter test. Text messages between the parents revealed that Sharon had pleaded to keep Brandon in treatment. Randall, however, did not believe Brandon was using drugs and checked him out of the facility after he passed drug tests during his stay. 2 weeks after his release, Brandon would go on to kill his mother on Christmas Eve. During a search of Randall's house, investigators found a smoking device with residue in Brandon's bedroom.
You don't coke or anything to drink?
No, sir, I'm just ready to go home.
Alright, give us just a few minutes and we'll try to get you out here, okay?
Alright.
Brandon Adelot's last words prompted detectives to halt the interrogation, as it became clear that he was severely disconnected from reality and already provided all relevant information to detectives. After the interrogation, crime technicians collected DNA samples from Brandon before he was booked into the Santa Rosa County Jail at 2:10 a.m.
A Gulf Breeze teenager accused of killing his own mother on Christmas Eve made his first appearance in juvenile court.
17-year-old Brandon Adelot currently faces second-degree murder charges, but those could very well be upgraded to first degree, a charge that carries a life sentence. Our Russell Colburn attended the hearing. He joins us live from Santa Rosa County Courthouse.
Yeah, Russell, what did you learn today?
When Brandon Adelot was charged with premeditated first-degree murder in December 2013, the public expected a straightforward trial. However, court proceedings appeared more complex, as experts diagnosed Brandon with schizophrenia and concluded that auditory hallucinations in the form of voices played a role in the murder.
They determined that in their opinion he was incompetent to proceed. Then the court ordered a second expert to examine him, who reached the same conclusion.
In the midst of these court proceedings, Brandon's erratic behaviour and delusional thoughts underlined that he is indeed not competent to stand trial.
Created the world's perfect formula. You guys are all welcome. We'll be going over that shortly. And then the Germans have the Jewish inside their head, the black people have the Vietnamese people inside their head. The French have the Brazilian inside their head. Saudi Arabian have the Chinese inside their head. The British have the Venezuelan inside their head. The Greeks have the...
In 2016, Brandon was declared competent to stand trial but was found not guilty by reason of insanity. 11 years after the murder, in August 2024, he again appeared in court as he was set to be transferred from Florida State Hospital, where he had been held since the murder, to the Apalachee Center, a secure step-down facility. Experts determined that he no longer met the criteria for commitment at Florida State Hospital, even though staff caught him with a box cutter in 2021. Brandon explained that he stole the item for self-defense. Family and friends reacted strongly to this ruling, with Brandon's sister, Elizabeth Adelot, who was only 10 when she lost her mother, and Pam Hill, Sharon's sister, giving statements during the hearing.
Brandon has changed for the better, and his family and doctors can see that this next step is what's best for him. Fast forwarding to Christmas Eve of 2013, the events that unfolded that night were not done at the hands of my brother, the one I adored and looked up to, but rather the actions and heinous nature of what happened to my mother was the result of an undiagnosed mental health disorder known as schizophrenia. But he was failed by so many people. Brandon's family failed him, saying it was drugs, his teachers failed him, his coaches failed him, medical staff failed him, and even professionals at facilities designed to diagnose this type of disease failed him.
A lot of this sounds, in theory, like we have a plan. He killed my sister when his life was charmed. It's no secret I've never wanted him to get out of the incarceration or the admission. I realize he's a patient at Florida State Hospital. I never want him out.
For the last 11 years, Brandon has shown no trace of grief or remorse.